a cell phone, it would be greatly appreciated if you put those devices in airplane mode or turn them off. If you will stand and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Greg Sapp.
Here.
Les Newman.
Here.
Ed Singleton.
Here.
Linda Beckwell.
Here.
Tony Richards.
Here.
In your packet is the minutes from the June meeting for your review and approval.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the last June meeting.
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Les Newman.
Yes.
Ed Singleton.
Yes.
Linda Beckwell.
Yes.
Tony Richards.
I was playing, I didn't leave last meeting.
And Greg Sapp.
Yes.
Also, approval for the claims have been properly signed.
I make that motion.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the claims properly signed. Any discussion? Call for vote.
Ed Singleton.
Yes.
Linda Beckwell.
Yes.
Tony Richards.
Yes.
Greg Sapp.
Yes.
Les Newman.
Yes.
Approval now of the payroll allowance docket.
So
Okay.
moved.
Oh, I have a question about that. Is that for the June payroll?
For the June payroll.
The June month?
It's,
Yeah,
it's all of
I've got
June.
it. I've got, okay, all of June. I second it.
A motion been made and seconded to approve the payroll allowance docket. Any discussion? Call for vote.
Linda Beckwell.
Yes.
Tony Richards.
Yes.
Greg Sapp.
Yes.
Les Newman.
Yes.
Ed Singleton.
Yes.
Fund report, have approval of the fund report.
Make a motion to approve the fund report. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the fund report. Any discussion? Call for vote.
Tony Richards.
Yes.
Greg Sapp.
Yes.
Les Newman.
Yes.
Ed Singleton.
Yes.
Linda Beckwell.
Yes.
Approval of appropriations report.
I make that motion.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the appropriations report. Any discussion? Call for vote.
Greg Sapp. Les Newman.
Yes.
Ed Singleton.
Yes.
Linda Bedwell.
Yes.
Tony Richards.
Yes.
Under new business, the item on here is ordinance 2026-04. This ordinance was tabled from last month, dealing with the park and the $100 donation to the park if it's a fundraising.
Did you get the park board reestablished?
No.
Is that gonna
We didn't
happen?
have a park board.
Pardon?
We don't have a park board by
I know, but
definition.
a class 3 city has to have a park board. That was my question last month.
Right, well, I think what you said last month was that the mayor had dissolved the park board and
And that was a park board decision, I believe.
well, the problem is we don't have a functioning park board. We need to create one. Because the problem with our park board is we have members on it who are not residents of the city. There's supposed to be 4 members of the park board, all appointed by the mayor. They have to be residents of the city, they can't be members of the city council.
I understand that.
So we need to, this was my suggestion to the mayor was by next month, we can have an ordinance creating the park board and he would have 4 members ready to appoint.
Okay. So my question was, I believe in the, I need to apologize, I don't have the ordinance with me. I thought it said in there that the mayor could approve.
At the discretion of the mayor.
That's right, and
Yes.
you were saying that should be a park board decision.
Yes,
And the problem
yes.
with saying that right now is that we don't have a park board.
Yes, okay, thank you. I didn't have my paper with me, I'm sorry.
So it can be the mayor's decision now.
Sure, and you guys could amend that later on if you wanted to, but right now I wouldn't put it, if you need this to go into effect, I wouldn't make it the jurisdiction of the park board if we don't have a legal park board.
So move.
I'll second.
So motion's been made and seconded to approve ordinance 2026-04. Any discussion? Call for vote?
Les Newman,
Yes.
Ed Singleton.
Yes.
Linda Bedwell,
No,
Tony Richards,
Yeah.
and Greg Sapp.
Yes.
Next item is ordinance 2026-05, dealing with Greene County Foundation Grant Fund. The city golf course and the fire department were awarded grants from the Greene County Foundation. This would be a way to manage that money as received.
I have a question about it. You want it now or you wanna wait?
Well, I think if you make a motion in a second, then you can discuss it.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
The motion's been made and seconded to approve the ordinance 2026-05. Any discussion?
I have discussion. It says down at the bottom, whereas the city of Linton will create a fund 2485 for the purpose to create a fund from the Greene County Foundation. Payments for Greene County Foundation are deposited into the fund. The city will write a check for grant items to be paid out of the fund. That bill will be used to promote and assist with the cost of the Linton Freedom Festival.
Oh,
And then down at the ordained by the city council, city of Linton, that the Linton Freedom Festival donation funds is created to account for the distribution, which is to be used in the same manner as the money in the general fund. I believe that's a mistake.
I believe it is, because we took the ordinance and redid the next one, and I had sent it to people and I hadn't received that back. So,
I believe that needs to be corrected.
and I believe that won't be a problem.
Does that need to be tabled?
You can table it, or you can just, I mean, we can
Approve it
adopt
minus
it as
that.
amended.
How do you want to amend it with the
Clarify the Greene County
Freedom
Foundation.
Festival out of it?
Yes,
The city will write the check for grant items to be paid out of the fund.
yes,
Stop.
yes.
And then it shouldn't have, that will be used to promote and assist the cost for the Linton Freedom Festival. So make that amendment with that left out.
Somebody wanna make a motion to approve that as stated by Linda?
I make the motion to approve as stated by Linda.
I'll second.
As amended.
And then do we need to change the ordained by the city council?
Yeah, sorry, I was
Okay.
including that. Basically, yes, changing, but removing both those straight references.
Yes, I'd like to remove both of the money that is to be deemed to the Linton Freedom Festival donation funds created to this account for the distribution, which is to be used in the same manner. I'd like to get that corrected, however you want to do that.
I will be glad to.
Thank you.
So the motion's been made and seconded to approve the ordinance 2026-05 as amended. Any other discussion? Call for vote?
Ed Singleton,
Yes.
Linda Bedwell,
Yes.
Tony Richards,
Yes.
Greg Sapp,
Yes.
and Les Newman.
Yes.
Okay, next item is ordinance 2026-06, an ordinance creating the NDOT fund. This is dealing with the Bee Hunter project. Which is scheduled to begin July of next year.
Need a motion on that.
Need a
I'll make a
motion?
motion to approve ordinance 2026-06.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve ordinance 2026-06. Any discussion? SAB Hunter project funds.
Good.
Call for vote?
Linda Bedwell,
Yes.
Tony Richards,
Yes.
Greg Sapp,
Yes.
Les Newman,
Yes.
and Singleton.
Yes.
Next item on the agenda is NDOT street sweep service agreement, amendment number 1 to this agreement. I think it's a raise in pay.
It was an increase in funds that we received. I had spoke with all of you guys about that. Go ahead and sign the contract and send it back. So basically, they wanna pay us more money from $360 per curb mile up to $450 per curb mile.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the NDOT street sweep service agreement amendment number 1. Any discussion? Call for vote?
Tony Richards,
Yes.
Greg Sapp,
Yes.
Les Newman,
Yes.
and Singleton.
Yes.
Linda Bedwell.
Next item on the agenda is the Commonwealth Engineers Task Order 2026-04, which deals with the lead service line replacement. I don't know if you want to say anything, Brent, ahead of this, or?
Before you this evening is, there are 2 agreements. The first one is the 2026-04 from Commonwealth Engineers. It's the lead service line project that we have going on. With both of these projects, they're on very tight timelines. And last month you approved moving forward with some site survey work. This encompasses that plus the remaining engineering work that needs to be completed for the project. So for both the lead service line and the water improvement project. We placed 6 out of 29 applicants on the SRF project priority list for the lead service line replacement. This puts us in what they call the fundable range, and typically what that means then with SRF, it's not exactly finalized yet, but typically in the past what they've done is provided 50%. I won't say grant, but it's not actually a grant, it's a loan forgiveness, and then the other 50% is 0 or very low interest rate on the remaining project dollar amount. While I'm up here, I'll go ahead and talk about the water improvement project. We ranked 12 out of 82 on the SRF project priority list. Just outside of what they call that fundable range. It's not that the project doesn't get funded, it's just that we may not receive as well of an interest rate. We're still looking at some different things in with that project that may assist us with that. With that said, I would respectfully request the council to approve both these agreements this evening. Would entertain any questions.
I assume, given that these are task orders under the umbrella contract, that they're within the budget you had anticipated them coming in at.
Yes.
Have motion to approve the task order 26-04.
Make a motion to approve task order 26-04.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve task order 2026-04 with Commonwealth Engineers. Any discussion? Call for vote?
Greg Sapp,
Yes.
Les Newman,
Yes.
Ed Singleton,
Yes.
Linda Bedwell,
Yes.
Tony Richards.
Yes.
In addition to Commonwealth Engineers Task Order 2026-03, dealing with the water project. Is there a motion to approve that?
I make that motion, we approve.
I'll second it.
Motion been made and seconded to approve Commonwealth Engineers 2026-03 task order. Any discussion? Call for vote?
Les Newman,
Yes.
Ed Singleton,
Yes.
Linda Bedwell,
Yes.
Tony Richards,
Yes.
Greg Sapp.
Next item on the agenda is an amendment to the Warner Timber contract. Based upon the DNR involvement with the project, the amendment was prepared for clear cutting.
I have a lot of questions about that. You want them now or you wanna wait?
So moved.
Second motion.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the amendment to the Warner contract. Any discussion?
I have several things I'd like to discuss. I've got this for you guys, if you'll pass one down. I've highlighted probably the most areas you need to know. Pass one to Claudia. I've got one for the newspaper as well. In Indiana, a Class 3 city where a contract has been adopted or approved by the Common Council and signed by the mayor. This was a question, I'm sorry, I need to start over. This was a question I got an attorney to help me with. I hired an attorney to look into this. In Indiana, for a Class 3 city where a contract has been adopted, approved by the Common Council, or signed by the mayor, can the mayor unilaterally extend the contract term, amend or change material contract terms without additional Common Council approval? The answer is, under Indiana law, a Class 3 city mayor cannot extend the term or amend material terms of tree removal contract that was approved by the Common Council without obtaining additional Common Council approval. On the second page, it talks about the mayor has no independent authority to negotiate, approve, or modify contract terms. When the Common Council passed a resolution approving the specific terms of the tree removal contract and the mayor signed it, the mayor's exclusive role was complete.
Executive.
Executive role was complete. Thank you, John. I've been looking into this contract. Sam, can you tell me when you found out about the amendment?
I don't have that information. It was sometime in between the last council meeting and this meeting.
Okay. I have talked to Pete Halstead, very nice gentleman. I worked with him probably for 30 years. I went out and talked to him and I asked him how this could happen. You know, how come everybody, the city council doesn't know about the clear cutting? That's not what we voted on. On the contract, we voted on, and in August of 2025, if you will look at the videotape at about the 6.8 mark, you and I had the conversation about damaged trees only, and you had changed the verbiage to make sure that that was in there, and the contract was approved on August 11th of 2025. And that's how I thought it was left. I went out and talked to, after I'd heard several complaints from several individuals, I went out and talked to Pete, found out about an amendment, but I had no clue, never knew about amendment. The amendment was sent to John Preble on June 8th, the exact day that a person stood up here at a council meeting after the meeting was over and asked you several questions. And I can get a videotape of this. I have it if you need it. The person asked, they said, and this was the same day you received the amendment, I was curious about what was happening out on 1375 West, where the big trees were taken out on the city-owned property. You responded that the city-owned property was around the Boy Scout camp and damaged trees were being removed, and the area was pretty devastated. The person said, a resident told me the trees were being taken out that were not tornado damage. They were, all the trees all the trees were being taken out. You responded, no, they're not taking all the trees. You said that you had several discussions with DNR and the sawmill was taking down dead and damaged trees that should have been harvested long ago. Said the area even looked like a war zone. You said, you said that they were taking trees only with the approval of the city. The city debt council didn't approve this. You sat and told that person falsehoods.
At that time,
You received, at that time, what do you mean? You received the amendment June 8th that Pete Halstead wrote.
he wrote, he put it on my desk. I don't know what date that was.
It was June 8th.
Okay.
It was June 8th, the same day that you spoke to this person and told him you had pretty much, you had no clue what was going on. The contract, the amendment between the timber sale, Warner Sawmill, and the city of Linton, the deadline on the original contract was July of 2027. Now the deadline is December 31st of 2026. It also says, due to a potential project by the DNR. Doesn't say it's gonna happen, it says a potential project of the DNR. So Warner, the way I understand it, the Warner people are good people,
Very reputable.
very reputable. Well, then they should have figured out that you lied to them. You did not have the power to approve this amendment. And I'm probably pretty sure this amendment wouldn't even have been brought up if I hadn't have brought it to your attention.
It would have been brought up.
I really don't think it would. It's already done. You want an amendment brought up to something that's already done? Answer, John.
Yes, because it was done verbally whenever that discussion.
Verbally, which
Would you
one of you,
listen?
which one
Listen.
of you guys approved it? Which one of you guys voted to get it clear cutted? Did you know anything about it? Greg, Les, Ed, Tony, did you know anything about the clear cutting?
In the contract in section 1, it does say fire shall clear cut areas affected by the tornado, and it's my understanding that the tornado damage was extensive along that entire property.
No, you're wrong about that. It also says located, but not all has been damaged. Not all has been damaged. You guys out there, I answer to you. I don't answer to Tom Jones. What you guys ought to be madder than heck that this happened. This is absolutely ridiculous that this happened. You know, you always put in your emails, John, you know, Titus 2:7 and verse 8. You need to put Genesis 20 verse 16. Thou shalt not lie, because you have lied to this city council. You have lied to the people out there. It's on record, and you ought to resign. Thank you. And you guys sitting here like a bunch of bumps on a log ought to be ashamed of yourself. Laugh at me, I don't care.
I'm not laughing at you.
You know, dollar signs are not everything. And what ought to be done, the city council ought to make the muzzleloaders a 3-year contract. We need to have it ready next year so this property can't be touched. You've overstepped your bounds, John. You've lied yet again.
Yet again, I have
Yes.
not lied.
Oh,
With regard to the modification, there's two parts of it, right? One is the extension, but that's actually not an extension, that actually
that
brings it.
shortens the time.
So do we want that?
I would say no.
Okay. So I mean, I think the motion was just to approve the modification, but if you don't want that to be changed, maybe the motion should be amended.
I just want to ask something. Why are you doing a modification? The trees are down, they're clear cut. So
Well,
now you're gonna get the approval? What you should have done, what the wonderful Saw people should have done, they're millionaires. I'm sure they have a lawyer that should have looked into this. This sawmill company broke this contract because it was not approved. The amendment was not approved by the city council. The amendment was brought up June 8th. The clear cutting started then. So now you're gonna vote on an amendment? If you guys are a day late and $1 short, and you ought to all be ashamed of yourselves.
make a motion to approve the amended contract modification to remove the extension of December 31st, 2026.
I'd like to make a comment if I may.
Yeah.
But I appreciate what you've done. This is my opinion, okay? The people have come back in, they've cut the trees that were all blown over by the tornado. The property itself was destroyed. It's not worth anything. You can't do anything with it for the trees. They're going in and cutting originally to cut the trees that were destroyed by the tornado. Getting to those, some of them, you've got 40-foot high stripper hills. And with the equipment and machinery they've got, they're gonna tear the property up even more to get to the trees up there that are blown down by a tornado. Well, they're gonna destroy some of the good trees trying to get to the bad trees. But this is my own opinion is, we've got the company coming in, however we got it, was right or wrong, I don't know. But we're gonna end up with up to maybe 300 acres of ground that will be made into recreation products where the whole people of the town of Linton and other towns can use the property also. It's gonna be cleaned up. The DNR is gonna come in and spend, what, 100 or some, what's the figure is?
It's like 20 or 30 million.
Yeah, they've got money they've gotta spend to get rid of right now. Well, the property's destroyed, you either leave it out there, you know, with just a few trees hanging, and there is no 200-year-old trees. The property was.
No, they're gone.
No, the coal mine was in there in 1920 or somewhere in that range, so there's no way there can be a 200-year-old tree out there in that property.
100-year-old tree.
100-year-old tree, okay. Possibly, yes, I'll go with that. But anyhow, what I'm saying is, my opinion here is, when it's all said and done, that property's gonna be nice property that everybody can use. You can't even drive in it now. Before the tornado went through it, you couldn't drive in it, you couldn't walk the hills, you couldn't do anything out there because the way it was. Well, if the government's got all that money, I say take it and let's make the place recreation and for everybody. That's it, and I appreciate your work.
You don't care that the mayor broke the law?
I'm not saying that, I'm telling what I want for that property, is what I want.
He went in and broke the law and it's too late.
I'm not an attorney, and I can't answer that.
Well, I called an attorney, and if you'll take the time to read all this, it'll make you sick at your stomach at what happened.
That's my.
And those sawmill is a multi-million-dollar business. And they came out and looked at the property, and they knew when they looked at it in, I believe, last year, in July, maybe, Warner came and looked at it. There was, it shouldn't have been any mention of clear cutting. They should have knew what the 300-yard area that was damaged and that they were going to be able to get the equipment in and get it out. Then all of a sudden, now we've got an excuse. The sawmill people can't do that. Bull crap. Those people have equipment that will go in nooks and crannies that we can't even imagine going in. And you're trying to tell me that all of a sudden we've got to clear cut the whole 316 acres because they can't get their equipment in and out? I think that's a bunch of baloney.
How many years has the city owned the property, I wonder, do you know? And it's sat there for years and years, and basically, the deer and the rabbits and squirrels is the only thing that could use it. As far as I'm concerned right now, I mean, we're in a win-win situation. If we can make it usable, put in handicap facilities, I think it's a good deal.
Eddie, I specifically asked you last week when you called me about the meeting. I asked you, he said, you asked me if I got a call from a certain individual, and I said no. I said I hadn't, and you said you did. And you said they were talking about clear cutting. I said, Eddie, are they clear cutting the damaged areas or the whole area? And your response was, well, I really don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that is really sad. that you didn't take the time to look into this. You're an elected official, just like I am. Les is, and you guys don't care enough.
After the tornado, I mean, I didn't want to see it clear cut either, but after
Well,
the
you
tornado.
agreed to it according to me.
Wait a minute, it's
Okay.
I'm talking.
Go
But
ahead.
after the tornado, what use is it? What good was it after the tornado?
We'll never know because it's been clear cut.
Well, I don't think that, the property was used, it hadn't been used for anything except the muzzle loaders and maybe the Boy Scouts years ago.
Yeah, the muzzle loaders had a lease. They
Yeah.
still have a
They
lease.
still have a lease. Yeah.
So now you're gonna go in and do what with their lease? Is it not gonna be any good anymore? Didn't I see somewhere where you've got a committee going and we're gonna do this and that?
That has nothing to do with the muzzle loaders. That has to do with the other property.
Well,
Have any other discussion?
I think there was a mistake made. I won't argue that one bit.
thank you, Les.
But in the long run, I think we're gonna come out ahead.
Well, I think,
You know, I'm not gonna argue there wasn't a mistake made, because there was a mistake made. We should have known about it, but we didn't.
time again, we didn't
But-
know anything about it.
But, like I said, I think the city's gonna come out ahead in all this.
And like I said,
And I hope we do.
yeah, dollar signs aren't everything.
I don't think it has to do with dollar signs.
Oh, bull crap. That's all you guys have, is ran off your numbers. Oh, you know how much we get? We got 133,000. Now we got 180,000.
Did you ever hear me say that?
I didn't hear you say it.
All right.
But Tony said it.
Well, I'm not Tony.
No, but I
I'm
said,
saying
I
we're
said
gonna
you
be
guys.
ahead if the plans are good. If the NR are coming in there, hopefully that's gonna be a recreation area where more people can use it. I'm not gonna say there wasn't a mistake made, because there was,
because,
but
go ahead.
I feel like we're gonna come out ahead in all this.
The Warner Saw, I talked to Tim Warner, his exact words to me, yeah, the mayor said he probably should have asked the city council about it.
You're right, like I
Well,
said,
legally, he's doing that right now, and if they approve it, if
Is
you guys
it-
approve it, then
Approve it, it's done.
that's, you still have that decision to make.
And let me correct you, I did not say $130,000. I agree with less mistakes been made, but it's done over with, looking at now.
Then you will,
I asked you, I said, we've taken in about what, $6,000-7,000 on wood?
yes, you are correct. I'm
And you
sorry.
said, no, hell, we've taken in 140,000. I said,
And did you not send that email out to someone? Sent something about got a check for 155?
but
I'll
anyhow,
get it
my
to you
figure
later.
was $6,000-7,000.
Okay, you're right, I misspoke.
And I agree, the mistakes made, so let's go on with it and make it what we can.
So when he does something like this again, we're just gonna throw it under the table and go on. You know, you used your executive power to close the pool. That was fine. I'm not saying it didn't need to be closed. So, you know, you just do whatever. You can sit and laugh at me all you want, John, I don't care. But I don't work for you. I work for those people that voted me in.
Any other discussion? Call for a vote.
Ed Singleton,
Yes.
Linda,
No.
Tony,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Les.
yes.
Department head reporting.
Paul Clark, Linton Police Department. Our statistics for the month of June included 930 calls for service, generating 489 police responses, including 87 traffic stops and 9 citations. We tabled last month the conversation about some bids for police cars because this council adopted the Sourcewell process. I have not yet got the numbers from Sourcewell for the police vehicles moving forward, but I do hope to have that for you guys for the next council meeting. Also want to give a shout out to one of our younger police officers, Officer Bracy Brenneman, initiated a proactive police investigation last month that resulted in more than a pound of methamphetamine being taken off the streets. He's been here in less than a year, and that's detective level, experience level police work, so he deserves a shout out if you see him out and
It's on
about.
tomorrow's front page, anyway.
I'm sorry?
It's on tomorrow's front page.
Very well. So he, like I said, it was a proactive investigation initiated by him. That's very promising to see our young guys with that level of work and drive. So that's all I have unless somebody has any questions. I do have one other thing. I think this council should consider something to do with these e-bikes that we're starting to see all over town. I know Linda reached out and asked what we could do about them.
And scooters.
I think that most of that stuff is covered under Indiana statute. I don't think you're gonna have a lot of traction. Most of the city ordinances that I looked elsewhere only specifically talk about those kinds of things, being able to be ridden on trails and bike-only paths, especially for the level 3 bikes, which are the faster ones. They're all dangerous. They all go 20 to 30 miles an hour, and hitting your head without a helmet at 30 miles an hour is pretty dangerous. I think we should consider, this council might want to consider looking to adopt an ordinance to at least get those bikes off the sidewalks and put them in the streets, because there's not a lot of room to navigate on a sidewalk, and I think that's where you're more likely to have your incidences. And I don't know that, and the attorney will be able to answer better than me. I don't think you're going to get a lot of traction on trying to come up with some enforcement actions against them because they're already regulated by state law. So, but there are some avenues for some stuff like that. I would just encourage, if you know anybody or if you have people asking about those, the safety gear is where it needs to be focused. This is a parenting problem or a parenting concern more than it is a policing concern. Those people on those class 3 bikes that do 28 miles an hour, they're required to have a helmet. The ones that are doing 20 are not. But I'm telling you, hitting your head at 20 miles an hour is gonna get you called by the fire department and not worried about what the police department has. So, that's all I have, just something for you guys to think about.
Just add to that, and the kids I see on these scooters, 50% of them do have helmets on. But it's the old people like me that are walking down the sidewalk that doesn't have a helmet on, that is trying to dodge these.
That's the reason like I said, I don't think you're gonna be able to keep them off the streets.
No, not off the
But on the
streets.
streets, then we have a little bit of enforcement option as far as some other things. But I think the council should consider getting them off the sidewalks. And I think that's well within your purview. So my opinion only. So, anything else? Thank you.
James Phillips with the fire department. Give you the stats for last month. Total, we had 104 calls for June. 77 of them were classified as EMS calls. 39 of those were transports, 16 lift assists, 11 assisting other ambulances, and then the other 11 were just calls for service. We had 27 of the 104 were fire calls, were fire related. 1 structure fire, 6 motor vehicle crashes, 2 gas leaks, 5 fire alarms, and 4 illegal burns, with the other 9 as just good intent calls. Also this last month in June, we hosted the academy class for Eastern Green at the training facility along with Sullivan County. And we had 4 of our members there as live fire instructors, Noah, Wilson, Donnie, Prater, Danny, our new guy, Stamper, and then myself were there. And as you guys heard earlier, we were also awarded a Green County Foundation grant for $22,693 for a Lucas 3 CPR mechanical device to help us with moving forward with our EMS side that we're looking at. And hopefully I can get a proposal to you guys for that in the near future. That's all I've got. Any questions? Thank you.
Hello, Ross Gentry, the Gas and Water. Month of June stats, we had 140 gas locates, 141 water locates, 17 water leaks repaired, 3 gas services installed, 11 water services installed and 25 after-hour calls. We have been catching up on some of our service installs. As you can hear, we did quite a few last month. Joint has kind of hit a standstill with their contractor that's been in boring. I think EPC was let go. Brent or John could probably tell you that exact date, but still kind of waiting to hear from them who the replacement there will be. We're not missing them too much right now, so we're catching up on a lot of stuff, but that's all I have for June. If you guys have any questions. Thank you.
I think we have a link for you, do we?
I think he's in Panama City, isn't he?
Yes, we have two, Slower General Manager Utilities. We have two working for them. They're on vacation this week. I do have Tommy Bailey's report that he wanted me to give for you. The sanitation department ran a schedule throughout the month, completing both the residential trash routes and the scheduled dumpster routes. He would like to thank all of our city employees for their hard work and dedication during the Freedom Festival. Their willingness to help with the additional workload before, during, and after the festival is greatly appreciated. The wastewater department has continued its efforts to maintain the city's collection system. During the month, crews cleared and collected 3 sewer blockages using the new combination jet truck and cleaned approximately 3,000 feet of sewer line. We also televised a little over 1,200 feet of sewer line to help identify potential problem areas and assist with construction projects. These inspections allow us to better plan repairs and protect the integrity of our sewer infrastructure. Couldn't agree with that more. The stormwater department opened and cleaned 3 storm drainage locations with the aid of the new jet truck. I can't express how appreciative we are of this new jet truck. In addition, crews replaced approximately 200 feet of storm pipe to improve drainage and system reliability. I'd like to remind residents that during heavy rain and flooding events, such as the one we recently experienced, our crews work as quickly and safely as possible to clear roads and drainage issues. If you encounter water flowing across the roadway, please do not attempt to drive through it. Instead, find an alternate route. This helps protect your safety, the safety of others, and allows emergency and city crews to respond more effectively. We appreciate everyone's patience while we work to restore safe conditions. The street department has continued to keep up with utility locates, street patching, sign repairs, and brush cleanup throughout the city. If you notice streets, signs, or other infrastructure in need of repair, please contact City Hall and submit a work order so we can address the issue as efficiently as possible. I would like to thank the entire street department for their hard work in preparing for the Freedom Festival, including setting up and cleaning up for the parade and other festival activities. Their efforts help make the event a success for our community. So with that concludes Tommy's report. As Ross indicated earlier, we received an email from EPC, who's the contractor installing the fiber for joint in our community. The email stated they were no longer going to be working in our community for whatever reason, I don't know. I reached out to joint representatives and was told that they are currently in the process of reviewing the course of action for how they're going to handle completing the rest of the work in our community. So they may be may not be seeing much activity out of anybody for a few weeks yet.
Do you know about how much work's left? It's all right.
There's 5 phases, and I have approved 3 of the 5, and they don't have the 3rd phase completed yet. So they still have the northeast and south sections yet to go. So that's all we know right now. There are some piping and cable and wire sticking up at different locations, especially over here in the southwest 9th, 8th, 7th Street area. They will come back in and address those, but in the meantime, they might have a section pulled up by a light pole, and they have some caution tape around it so people can see it, maybe not hit it with a lawnmower. They'll eventually come in and get that taken care of.
And that doesn't have any power or anything to it where anyone could get hurt?
No, that's tracer wire like we use with our gas system. That way they can connect to that wire and they run it parallel right along with the pipe so they know where it's at when they locate it. So with that, we recently had a technical review with the Indiana Department of Environmental Management. It's not an actual, what they call a sanitary survey inspection, but we had our inspector along with a gentleman who's a contractor for IDEM, who works in the capacity development section, came in one day last week. We spent the day with him, Ross and Opie Wall, our lead plant operator, and I met with these folks. They looked over our records. We've done completed site visits at both water towers of the plant and the wells. And end of the day, we haven't received a report back yet, which we will sometime in the next couple of weeks. But they said there was no major findings. And the gentleman we had was a retired water production manager for Indianapolis Water. And he was very knowledgeable, and he offered some operational suggestions to us that we're gonna look into that will help us be more efficient, so. With that said, that concludes my report. Any questions?
Public comment section, remind people that there are a 3-minute limit to their comments. And I don't know who the first person to comment was, the name, and LFF, I think was the subject.
Linton Freedom Festival, was it Cheryl?
Yep.
Cheryl?
She's the only LFF I know.
Read your
Now I can
signature
see
there.
Cheryl.
Hey, they tried to get you some more money in this amendment.
I know. Pretty cool. Like, we'll take it. I do this about every year, but thanks to City Council for all the work we get from city employees. James and Terry Jackson put together a nice, we've needed it for a while, but a emergency disaster plan for the festival, which will help when it's gonna come a time and insurance is gonna want us to do that. But, you know, Paul and his guys do a great job for us, and water and gas and street department, I mean, pick up the phone and they're just there to help. So greatly appreciated, can't do it without them. But that's for the next person to say that next year.
We're gonna miss you.
Not really, Linda.
Yeah.
No, people are like, I'm glad that old woman's gone. And speaking of which, I got a Freedom Festival meeting in 10 minutes.
She's retiring, I believe.
Jerry Margraf.
She's going back to Illinois.
She's already back.
She's going back.
I don't know if I really should be making any comments since you folks got abused. And it's about the woods, the Boy Scout camp, the muscle, everything out that way, north of town. I want to thank you guys, the city, for making a decision to clean it up and do it right. And I think that's in the process of happening, all right? Even though it looks naked right now, I'm sure within the assistance of the DNR, it will turn out to be a great area for all our community. And I feel that my children will be grateful for this. They're still young enough. I won't be around for the finalized, but with DNR being involved, and they have you, John has the commitment from them, it's gonna be done right. Now, it looks terrible right now, but let's wait for the future. I think we're biting the bullet right now because of the way it looks. We're not being a future thinking council. That's the way I look at that. Now, next you're gonna say, who in the hell is Jerry Margraf? Okay, I am not a resident of the city, but I am a property owner in Stockton Township. You know, and our people want improvements, and I think this is gonna happen. So, I feel sorry for the abuse that you took tonight. That's not necessary in this city. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry.
AC, is that Alan?
That's me, John. All right, I got my timer to keep you honest. I want a full 3 minutes. All right, you ready? All right, good. Right, 3, 2, 1. All right. So I'm back. It's been a while. We'll start off. Praise God for whom all blessings flow. I think sometimes we get so consumed in these worldly things we forget the big picture. Thank you all for serving. Usually I find these meetings wildly boring, so I appreciate your time here because, man, I don't want to deal with like how wide an alley it is and all that stuff. My comments may seem like they're all over the place. Treat it like a potluck. I brought something for everyone. A lot of these are just like themes and patterns. The political temperature is really increasing in the country. I know we have our own local things, but things are getting really hot. And again, I think we've got to focus on the important things. So Romans 13, rulers are not a terror to good conduct, but to bad. Government serves a purpose. I think government often does way too much. The purpose of government's supposed to be a servant of God, an avenger who carries out God's wrath on the wrongdoer. I'd really love to see our country get back to that. Need increased consequences for the evildoers out there. We need to be careful about who's brought into this community. I can tell you, I see a lot of communities out there in Indiana right now really suffering because they're allowing wrongdoers into the community and they're not punishing them. On the same time, we need to have increased compassion for people, especially in our policies. People in this community, the very young, the very old, the poor, the disabled, consider folks who haven't had some of the same opportunities and privileges we've had, do them a kindness. Kind of relevant to tonight, I typed out most of this before tonight, but I want to encourage the council, the mayor, the lawyer who's not here, to lean into transparency and openness. You know, this is a new age, things have to be transparent, they gotta be open. When they're not, things heat up. Push information out ahead of time. And this isn't specific to this, like I said, I wrote this up beforehand, just in general, it's a theme. Instead of people having to pull it, push it out. In communication, there's a sender and a receiver, like with the radio signal. A lot of times there's static, you get your signals crossed. Sometimes we think we're effectively communicating, but we're not. So just really double down on that transparency and communication. 40 trillion in national debt. Democrats and Republicans helped us get there. As things get worse on the national level, they're going to be looking to the states are going to be looking to the community. So we're going to be increasingly having to deal with our own problems at a local level because there's just not going to be the money there. Boy, the timer seems like it's going quick. As slow as government works, I think there should be, and there is, capacity at decision points, at phase gates, to slow down, to make sure you're following the governance correctly, and to just be exceedingly transparent. All right, I'm gonna have to skip to my good one here. I propose we name the pothole by Burger King and Walmart the Linton Off-Road Park. That's pretty fun. Really though, there's a pothole on Oak Street that's really bad, and I'd like to see that get filled before an old lady trips in it. Shout outs to our chief of police. I talked to you probably almost a year ago. I had a concern. You made the point to call me back. We had a good 10-15 minute conversation. Really appreciate that. Shout outs to Linton News, bringing some good local coverage. And thank you all. That's it.
Richard Kaiser.
Okay, guys, don't expect me to lose my temper tonight. Okay. I want to thank the board, council for approving this. John had to make a decision. He made the decision at that time. Right one or the wrong one, it doesn't matter. He had to make it. So that's the way things are. Now, the other thing is, you've got an opportunity out here to take and turn this into a destination for Linton. And it's not gonna be instantly, it's gonna be a while. It's gonna take a few years, a couple, 3 years to do it. But with the right planning and the money that the DNR has to put into this, you can have a recreational area that will draw people here. you've got all the hunting and fishing and facilities here in this town that everybody wants to come from. They used to come from Indianapolis all the time, down here to fish and everything. And they quit coming, I don't know why. But I think part of it because of the phones, but the rest of it, you know, we need to get these people back down here. So you make a facility for them, they'll come. And I'm sure the DNR, there were some things that I think, you know, I question them on some things, but this is gonna be good. Especially since we got Eddie there, that we'll make sure it gets that done that way, right, Ed?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, now, who's taking over, who's gonna go have that project, Ed? Do you know?
We can't answer, can we? We can't. We
You don't
can't
know
answer.
anything about that yet?
It's just a one-way conversation, Dick.
No, we can't.
Oh, okay,
answer.
all right, okay. But you guys realize, you know, that's gonna be a good place. I'm gonna take you say this, may not be the right thing to say, but God helped Linton out there. So all you have to do is clean it up now. And you're gonna have people with the money to do it. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And Linda,
Yes.
I'm one of your constituents out here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so thanks, all right?
You signed
Donnie Prater.
Donnie? That you?
As I walk up. Donnie Prater, Local 3087 President. What I originally had to talk about was already discussed. Just in light on the department a little bit, our guys are doing really well. 3 of them have obtained certifications in the past 2 months. We've got instructors, every person on the department is an instructor -1. So we can hold all of our own classes now. We've been keeping up with stuff. James is doing a really good job as a chief. We appreciate that appointment there. That's all I got. Thanks.
Ashley?
Good afternoon. Hit 3. All right, I just wanted to give the council an update on the pool project. Ultimately, we are now officially over $130,000 raised to date. Now that does include $14,700 that we just got from the Greene County Foundation in a grant. That grant's to cover replacement of all 3 diving boards, as well as a base for the small diving board because that galvanized steel was rotting on that small diving board. And so that covers the 3 diving boards and that base. They gave an additional $5,000 to assist with the liner. And so I wanted to kind of talk to you about a proposal to maybe consider come our next meeting in August. Ultimately, as the council knows, you had allocated $175,000 for the liner replacement from the edit funds. But the bid from Renaissance was, I think, around $152,000. And so assuming that doesn't increase, which I got good news that it appeared the concrete looked in really good condition last week. And so my hope is that the council would reconsider appropriating those remaining funds of about $20,000 towards the fence that needs to be replaced. And ultimately we can have that discussion once we know a little bit more. But the reason I think that appropriation could work out is REMC just opened a grant for community 501c3s. The fence is $35,000. And so my hope is we could seek assistance from REMC to replace that fence. Some may wonder, why don't you use the $130,000 you have now? Well, the reason is there's grants that need to be done for those bigger repairs that need to be done at that pool. And I should say not repairs, improvements such as the water slide that's gonna be anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000 depending on which water slide would be procured. A rock wall is around $10,000 to $15,000 not installed. So then you gotta take the install. A lily pad function or an obstacle course over the pool, you're looking at $75,000 give or take. None of that includes the baby pool revitalization. There's a lot of grants out there that can help with that baby pool revitalization, and I think we can strategically plan that our current baby pool is exempt from a lot of the ADA requirements. However, it could be improved to make it more accessible to children with disabilities, and there's lots of grants out there that could help with that baby pool revitalization, but you have to have matching funds. A lot of those grants will require the city to apply for it because you can't apply just as a 501c3. So the park board is pivotal to get that back up and going. I got 4 seconds left, and so I think just keep forward thinking, but we really need to go after those grants. Maybe use some of the timber money to hire a grant person for the recreations that need to be done. But thank you guys.
Any final comments?
I wanted to address something. I talked with Claudia today. She always gives us a kind of little worksheet of what's going on. I noticed the insurance and I had a couple questions for her and I talked about them. I didn't understand about the USI and giving them a 3-year quote, but Claudia explained to me that that can be dissolved in 60 days if we would decide to go with someone else. I told her my biggest concern, and I have found out this firsthand. I have never seen USI of Muncie. I don't even know what USI stands for. And I'm just gonna throw some names out there: American Family, Daniel French, Rich Brown. Any soccer game you go to, Little League game you go to, girls softball game you go to, football game you go to, you see their names on sponsorships. I don't even, like I said, I don't even know what USI stands for. That money should stay in Linton and Greene County. And Claudia explained to me a couple of things that was going on, but we do not have to hold this company for a 3-year contract. It can be adjusted in case a local insurance company can come up with something better. Am I right, Claudia? Mm-hmm. And so I just wanted to thank her for giving that information. And just remember that these companies that aren't getting this business are the ones that support your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids. So I'd like for the city to keep that in mind.
Any other comments? Motion to adjourn?
Make it a motion.
Second.
Motion made to adjourn. Any discussion? Call for vote.
Greg Sapp,
Yes.
Les Newman,
Yes.
Ed Singleton.
Yes.
Linda Bethwell,
Yes.
and Tony Richards.
Yes.